I'm joined here by United States Chairman, Joint Chief of Staff, Admiral Mike Moulin, and Ambassador to Pakistan, Miss Peterson. As you all know, Admiral Moulin is here in Pakistan to meet with Pakistan's civil military leadership to discuss the practical aspects and dimensions of President Obama's new strategic vision for Afghanistan and Pakistan. Fortunately and interestingly, both Admiral Moulin and Ambassador Peterson are household names and faces in Pakistan, though for different reasons. Admiral Moulin for his frequent visits to this region, and Ambassador Peterson for her robust diplomatic engagement of almost all sections of Pakistani society, including the Pakistani media. But let me also introduce that Admiral Moulin brings a very deep and wide understanding of strategic and regional issues in Central and South Asia. And when I talk to the military circles in Pakistan, they often refer to him as a great realist and a friend of Pakistan. Admiral Moulin and Ambassador Peterson, both a very warm welcome on behalf of Dunya News.
Thank you.
Admiral Moulin, we're hard pressed for time right from the beginning, so let's be very quick. I was watching a very interesting lecture, a leadership lecture you gave at the Wharton Business School at University of Pennsylvania last year. And you mentioned that when you became the admiral in 1995, you received letters of congratulations from almost all the admirals across the United States, more than 100. And one of them wrote to you that from this point onwards, you are going to have very good food, but you're never going to hear any truth. The question is, when you visit here and meet the civil military leadership, do you get to hear the truth?
Actually, I do, and it isn't just the visit or the engagement with the civil and military leaders. I mean, I spent all day today out in the field, and so it was very evident to me in my trip to SWAT today, specifically to see the results of a very significant, difficult, and successful campaign to restore SWAT to the right level of order and support of the people. And I was here earlier this year when it was going very badly in the other direction. I got to see Pakistani troops who have been in the field, express my condolences for those who have been lost and sacrificed so much. So it is taking certainly the engagement in my discussions with General Kiani, the President and the Prime Minister, and I take that at the high leadership level, and I understand that being in that position myself. But I'm also able to go out into the field and see what's actually happened, and it was very convincing, very significant, and it showed a very thorough understanding of what the requirements are, not just on the military side, because there's a civilian side, there's a civilian capacity side, there's a need also to resource through local government agencies in SWAT specifically, and in other places that the Pakistani military has performed so well over the last year. So in that regard, I have seen the truth.
But I wonder, if you are hearing the truth, you must be aware of the deep-seated fears, concerns, apprehensions, and anxiety that exists in Pakistan at all levels on the President Barack Obama's new strategic plan for Afghanistan.
Well, the strategy that he rolled out is really focused on the region. It's Afghanistan and Pakistan. One of the things I've learned here in my many trips is it's about the region. It's not about one country or another, because of the long-standing relationship, obviously the proximity, and they're two very distinct and very special countries, but they are also linked in many, many ways, and certainly that's the focus of the strategy. There's been a great deal of press and media coverage with respect to the number of troops, and I understand that, 30,000 to Afghanistan. But I want to assure you and everybody else that there was just as much debate and just as much discussion about the focus on the relationship with Pakistan from the United States perspective, on the importance of it, on the relevance of it now as well as a long time into the future. Pakistan is an ally and a friend. We work hard. Nobody works harder than Ambassador Peterson to support that relationship. We've provided training and support, other kinds of capabilities, and we'll continue to do that.
But Ambassador Peterson is also sitting here. To what extent the Pakistani side was consulted while President Obama was considering, pondering, debating for almost 3 months the new strategy?
Well, I very early, actually, during the debate, spoke with General Kiani at some length about this and what the focus was. I know that General McChrystal also met with him specifically as this was, as it was being reviewed, because his view of how it might affect him, how it might affect the Pakistani military, how it might affect Pakistan was very important. And then specifically, I called him a day or two before the president actually announced his decision to review it with him so that he wouldn't be caught by surprise.
But Ambassador Peterson, you know, you want to add something?
Let me just add something. I'm sure we consulted with no country in the world as extensively as we consulted with Pakistan. The Secretary of State was here, the National Security Advisor, the Director of the CIA. The National Security Advisor spent hours going over the strategic assumptions involved in the plan. There were many phone calls to Pakistani leaders in the days preceding the announcement of the strategy. So I think the consultation was extremely
I wanted
deep
specifically
and robust.
to come to you on this because this famous statement, your phrase that no other country was consulted as much as Pakistan, is very much quoted inside the country. But what we have learned is that the US consultation with Pakistan on this plan has mostly been in the shape of briefings. It has never been a structured dialogue between the American side and the Pakistani side as to what the Pakistani concerns are, and these concerns were never incorporated into the actual strategic plan that was announced on 1st December from West Point.
Well, I mean, from my perspective, again, back to early discussions I had with General Kiani, General McChrystal had the same. We have constant meetings and interchanges and have over time, and all of that was very much a part of the discussions and debate and deliberations that took place in the United States, and all of that was rolled into the overall strategy and decision.
So what concerns, what Pakistani concerns have been accommodated in the strategic vision, in the strategic plan?
Obviously, the concerns that are oftentimes raised to me are the sovereignty concerns here. This is a very special sovereign country. We recognize that, and we respect that sovereignty in everything that we do. The need to sustain this relationship. When I come to Pakistan as well as Afghanistan, there is focus on, are you going to stay this time, or are you going to leave again? And you know, the president said it. The long-term relationship here is very important. We're all working very hard to sustain that. There are ongoing concerns about the support. You know, will that be sustained over time? And it is, in many ways, building trust that has been broken over time, and I recognize that. And all of us are working very hard to fill that trust deficit, and we're very committed to closing it. And that's very much a part of this strategy as well.
In almost all your interviews I viewed before this discussion, I saw the one particular question you always refused to answer, that is regarding the drone attacks.
Right. Are you asking the question?
You said that. You said you addressed all the concerns. I mean,
no, I just don't talk about those.
This is an
any
area
kind of operations.
barred off area. Admiral Mullen, let me take a quick break. I'm joined here by United States Chairman, Joint Chief of Staff, Admiral Mike Mullen, and Ambassador Ann Peterson. We're discussing the effects and implications on Pakistan of the President Obama's new strategy for Afghanistan and Pakistan. We'll continue the discussion after the break.